Well, global philanthropy has faced its challenges as it weathered the storm of the global financial crisis. And even in Australia, a country not steeped in philanthropic tradition, such as, say, the United States, has seen huge momentum building, with several high-profile donors, including James Packer, pledging part of their fortunes to charitable foundations. Bradford Smith is president of the Foundation Centre, which maintains a comprehensive database on US and global philanthropy. He joins us now from Sydney. Many thanks for your time. Give us a sense of how the global financial crisis actually changed philanthropy around the world.
I think in terms of affecting the amount of assets available for philanthropy, there was a temporary dip, but philanthropy came roaring back. One of the things we've noted coming out of the global financial crisis is there is a certain increase in concentration of wealth, more high net worth individuals, more billionaires, and because of things like Bill and Melinda Gates' Giving Pledge, more of them seem to be turning towards philanthropy.
And it's interesting that, in fact, that concentration of wealth is actually complicating the issue and really creating greater need in some parts as well.
Certainly, and I think that's one of the sort of ambiguities or contradictions of philanthropy. It takes a certain amount of accumulation of wealth to create the world's biggest and most famous foundations, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the Wellcome Trust in the UK, obviously the Gates Foundation, but those are the big fortunes that have historically created the largest and most important foundations.
How is it shaping itself to community demands and needs then?
I think good philanthropists use the kind of success they had in their businesses to try to be successful when they move to social or environmental issues. They pay a lot of attention to demand, what the market is, if you will, what the needs are, what the solutions are. And the best philanthropists find the best solutions and the best organizations and individuals to carry those out. So
it's sounding like their expertise that got them so far in business is really welcome then in that environment.
I think it's welcome. The drive certainly is. Obviously their money is very welcome, but I think what we also find is, you know, it was Andrew Carnegie over 100 years ago who said that he discovered that giving away money was rather more difficult than making it. We saw the same thing with Bill Gates. He quite early on admitted that this was a lot more complicated than he thought. And there's a real learning curve that goes on. And one of the ways you learn as a philanthropist is by actually rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty and actually making grants and learning.
Explain for us what's changed on the Australian scene, because we're not a nation necessarily that has that very strong tradition of philanthropy, but we are seeing people really turning around in their thinking about this.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on Australia, obviously. In the time I've been here, people have been telling me that there is a concentration in wealth here, obviously. This is a wealthy country. There are a growing number of high net worth individuals. And I think things like Andrew Forrest signing the Giving Pledge has had a lot of impact. And I mentioned the Giving Pledge because I think it really is important. This is a global movement of 122 billionaires so far who have signed pledges to give half their fortunes to philanthropy during their lifetimes. And the fact that there is an Australian member of this Giving Pledge, just as there are Indian members and Chinese and English and Canadian, is creating something of global momentum that gives a certain amount of prestige, I think, to the notion of this is something you should do as an extremely fortunate and extremely worthy person, wealthy person. Give something back.
Bradford Smith, really interesting to get your insights on this. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.